Friends, one morning as I opened my eyes, a question arose in my mind. Who is the one waking up? It felt so simple. Obviously, it was me. The same me who went to sleep last night, who brushed teeth, who planned about tomorrow. But then another question slipped in. Am I really the same person who went to sleep? My body is not the same. Science tells us that almost every cell in me has been replaced over time. Even the neurons in my brain are rewired each day, making new connections and letting old ones fade. My memories, too, are not exact recordings. They are edited every time I recall them, shifting slightly like a story retold. So, if my body is new, my brain is reshaped, and my memory is unreliable, what remains constant? Why do I still feel like the same I? What is this self that feels so certain? Is it real or just an illusion my mind creates? The answer couldn't be found in flesh or thought. I tried to locate this me. Was it behind my eyes, looking out like a pilot from a cockpit, or in my chest where I felt emotions, maybe scattered across the body, spread in sensations? The more I searched, the stranger it felt. The harder I tried to grasp it, the more it slipped away, like trying to catch my own shadow. This was the first crack in what I thought was a solid identity. I turned my attention to the observer, the I that seemed to be watching everything. Surely, if I looked carefully, I would find it, but as soon as I looked, it vanished. It was like mist under sunlight. When I tried to see the seer, only seeing remained. When I tried to touch the observer, only observing remained. This reminded me of Zen master Huang Po's teaching. Seeking the mind with the mind is like trying to bite your own teeth. The very act of looking created the illusion of two, seeker and sought, when in fact there was only awareness. Later, when I studied neuroscience, I realized how closely it echoed my experiment. Researchers found that when people meditate deeply, the brain's default mode network, DMN, the system which is responsible for self-referential thinking, begins to quiet down. What remains is not unconsciousness but a clear, centerless awareness. Not someone being aware, but just awareness itself. No boundaries, no middle manager in the head, just openness. And strangely, I had tasted that. Sitting in silence, there was awareness without a center, like the sun shining without needing a torch to illuminate it. Another realization came while thinking about memory. My sense of being the same person felt so strong. But was it actually real? Neuroscientist Antonio Damasio describes the autobiographical self as a story being written and rewritten every moment. It's not one fixed thing, it's like a movie. Each frame is static, but when shown rapidly, it creates the illusion of continuous motion. Myself felt like that. A movie projected so smoothly that even the projector believes in the story. But if I am just this flowing narrative, then who is writing the script? One morning, I reached for my coffee cup. My hand moved exactly as intended. It felt like I had decided and my body obeyed. But then I remembered Benjamin Libet's famous experiments. He discovered that the brain initiates movement before we consciously decide to act. The decision is made unconsciously, and only after a delay does consciousness show up to take credit. That means my feeling of control was also part of an illusion. It's something like a politician claiming credit for work already done by others behind the scenes. Then I looked at my body. Where do I end and the world begins? My skin felt like a boundary, but the more I examined, the thinner that boundary became. The air I breathe becomes blood in seconds. The water I drink flows through me and then returns to the world. Even the atoms in my hand are stardust, ancient, borrowed, soon to be released back into the universe. So, am I separate from the world? Or is this body just a whirlpool in the cosmic river? Distinct in shape, yet never apart from the flow that forms it. Another thought haunted me. Everything about me is constantly changing. My thoughts shift moment to moment. My emotions rise and fade. Even my body regenerates all its cells every few years. Then, what exactly is the me that I'm so attached to? I remembered watching a river. Its water never stays the same. It flows endlessly. Yet, we still call it the same river. The banks remain, the direction continues, but the actual water is new every second. Maybe the self is like that. Not destruction, but dynamic stability. Not permanent, but not meaningless either. A flowing process pretending to be a fixed thing. The Buddha said suffering comes not from change itself, but from clinging to what changes, like trying to hold the river in your hands instead of flowing with it. Perhaps the deepest insight came when I reflected on meaning. If nothing lasts, what's the point? Alan Watts gave me an answer. Life is not a journey with a destination, it's music. In music, the point is not the final note, the point is the dance of every single note, the play of rhythm, the rise and fall of melody. Friends, my life is not something I have, it's something I am. A unique melody being played by the universe. Temporary, yes, but irreplaceable. This shifted everything. Instead of clinging, I could listen. Instead of grasping, I could flow. Instead of forcing, I could dance. Friends, after all these experiments in my own awareness, I realized something profound. I am not the separate self I thought I was. I am not the commander, not the thinker, not even the story. I am the awareness in which all of this appears, the screen on which the movie of life plays. And just like the screen doesn't need to find the movie, I don't need to seek myself. I already am what I was searching for. The seeing itself created the sense of distance, but the very act of looking peeled away the illusion until only awareness remained. Not a self watching awareness, but awareness being itself. And in that recognition, the game of separation and unity, of control and surrender, of seeking and finding dissolved into silence. A silence that was never absent, only overlooked. This was my experiment with my own mind. Not a theory, not borrowed wisdom, but something I saw directly. Friends, the illusion of self is powerful. Yes, but so is the recognition of what remains when the illusion dissolves. Awareness, presence, life as it is, singing its own music through me, through you, through everything. not as a journey to a destination, but as a symphony being played in this eternal moment. Thank you for watching.